Who the hell can wait till morning? Talk now at latenightsportsradio.com.
Are you the type of chick who loses her phone when they get drunk? No. Because there's always one chick who loses her phone when they get drunk.
No, I tend to keep up with my business.
Back for another edition of the Shreveport Claire and Carlson Show, sponsored by Shreveport Travel Society or Chamber of Commerce?
Travel Bureau?
Yeah, whatever. There are many things you can put in your ears. This is one of them, just like a sailor named Lawrence. And we are part of the Late Night Sports Radio Network, latenightsportsradio.com. She is Claire Mullins at the Claire Bear. Is it 23 or 36?
23. 36 is for, my people who get me.
All right, she is the NFL female podcast boss, even though last week she wasn't on there much, and it was delightful.
You loved it. You loved every minute of it.
And I'm Andy Carlson at Purple for the Win, all spelled out. I'm all about that action boss over at purpleftw.com. And we can be found at Claire versus Carlson on the Twitter machine and YouTube. Go and check all of that stuff out. But Claire, all the Shreveport talk, it's got you hot and bothered. What's going on?
Shreveport. That was a dream. Shreveport's not a bad place. I could rule Shreveport, I think, with my almighty fist.
Well, what's Shreveport's claim to fame besides just being it's a Delta city, right?
I think, yeah, it is. It's a Delta city. And I'm not exactly sure what its claim to fame is, but it's very Louisiana-esque, even though it's in the very northern part of the state. And there are casinos everywhere. Just everywhere there's casinos. So that's there's an Arby's / Love's travel stop. It's like a gas station place with an Arby's and a casino.
Oh, I bet you love that Love's travel stop, if you know what I mean.
No, I don't know what you mean.
Now, is it a wannabe New Orleans, kind of like Milwaukee wants to be like Chicago?
No, it's not a wannabe. It just is what it is. It has, I don't know that it has a particular industry there that rules it. It's just a big, small city.
Did you meet Hobo Dan of Shreveport?
We had words. Hobo Dan and I had words.
Oh, you're clear with the crawfish out here.
Hobo Dan wasn't nearly so lively.
Hobo Dan is Cajun.
Yeah. Well, obviously, he lives in Shreveport, and he's a hobo who decides to live in Shreveport. Yeah, he's a Cajun.
All right, that is all. All right, so let's get the purple elephant or pink elephant in the room out of the way. What's the deal with you and the Ebola, Claire?
Oh, I don't have the Ebola. I live in Houston.
You could be a carrier there, patient zero.
No, I live in Houston. The Ebola is up 45 in Dallas, from what we understand.
But the Houston Texans and a ton of Houstonians were in Dallas yesterday, as shown from the telecast, because that place was very red.
It was really touching. I was very excited, and I got to listen to some of the game on the radio. And when the Cowboys were on offense, it was loud.
It was, especially that first drive. It sounded like a road game for the Cowboys, and it makes sense because they were wearing the road whites, which I always do at home, which is annoying.
Oh, don't even get me started.
Now, see, I love when the Cowboys are on the road and the home teams are dicks, and then they wear their white uniforms, so the Cowboys have to wear their blues because it's awesome.
I didn't realize that was a thing. That's real? That happens? People do that to them?
Yeah.
On purpose?
Yeah. Yeah, because it's home team's prerogative which uniforms they want to wear. And you'll often see that in the early months of the year when it's hot, a lot of home teams, like Raiders, especially Jaguars, too, wear white at home and then force the other team to wear their darker jerseys.
I never knew this.
Yeah, but the Cowboys, history lesson on the Claire vs. Carlson show, Tex Schramm, when they were first starting the Cowboys and they really wanted to get the marketing going and get people to the stadium, they thought, hey, we'll wear our whites so that the fans can see all the different colors from around the NFL. And
what kind of
thing back then?
Stupid crap is that?
Hey, it was back then. And it
What?
might have worked. Who knows?
Whatever. Okay, anyway, let's all gather hands and sing Kumbaya around the colors of the NFL rainbow. Whatever. That's stupid. Okay.
Yeah, but you're Ebola, by the way. You're flying around all over the country like it's your job. I feel like this is contagion, and you are Gwyneth Paltrow. So how does that make you feel? You're Gwyneth Paltrow.
The funny thing, well, please, God, don't make me feel like Gwyneth Paltrow, because she's neurotic and a vegan, and she only eats raw food, right? Doesn't she do that crazy stuff?
I don't know, but she knows. Have you ever seen the movie Contagion?
I think I saw it a long, long time ago.
Yeah, now it's a story about a Minnesota man, played by Matt Damon, who not only survives a terrible outbreak of a disease, but he also survives being married to Gwyneth Paltrow. So
sad.
He's an obvious real hero here. Plus, they got Minnesota pretty much right, because I'm pretty sure they filmed in Minnesota. Yeah.
What was so right about Minnesota that this movie portrayed?
The people in winter.
Oh, they're cold?
Yeah, and even getting in line for the inaugural. What are you clicking?
Nothing.
Are you Googling
How dare
something?
you question me?
Oh, no, it sounded like you were clicking or your snowblower was going off. But
no.
Anyways, like the riots for getting the serum for the disease, there were riots, but they were very nice riots, just like Minnesota. Minnesota
very
nice.
Midwestern-y.
Yeah. And we'll get to some actual fan rights that were not so Minnesota nice a little bit later in the show. But we have no shortage of things to talk about today. The NFL was bananas. Peyton Manning still pretty good. Tom Brady is not horrible. The Cowboys are for Rizzle. Sorry, Claire.
No.
My fantasy team sucks balls. Claire loses a parlay of sadness that we'll get to. But first, let's go chronological and talk about high school football. Nah, just kidding. The crazy-ass Saturday of college football that was. Well, I guess we can include Oregon, who lost on Thursday, which was pretty epic. But crazy-ass
awesome.
weekend college football. 8 of the top 25 teams were upset, including 5 of the top 8. The last-second upsets, Arizona State on that Hail Mary from USC, which was defended probably the worst I've ever seen it. Mm-hmm. And it was exciting. TCU beat Oklahoma on the last second, and
that's great.
The day came in with a lot of hype because of all the scheduled games, especially the 3:30 Eastern games. But man, it was awesome. Ole Miss beats Bama, Texas A&M. Sorry, Claire.
I can't even talk about it.
Are you still catatonic?
A little bit. I mean, I think I tweeted it earlier. It's kind of hard to just accept whenever your college team loses to Cowbells and your professional football team loses to Cowgirls. I just want all the cows to go away. I'm tired of cows.
Oh, so you'd be a big supporter of Chick-fil-A.
Probably, but I mean, I get the Texas, their little mascot thing is a toro, a bull.
Mm-hmm.
But that's different than a cow. So I just want the cows. I'm being very clear for the Texans fan base audience that we might have listening. It's not the anti-bovine. It's just the cows.
Why?
Because Cowbells and Cowgirls, they've ruined my whole weekend.
No. Oh, and damn it. I was going to go out and specifically get a cowbell just to play on the show. Actually, maybe I'll look up a cowbell sound effect. But
be glad you did not do that.
Because I knew it would annoy the bejesus out of you.
I would probably just have to hang up, and you would have to have the Carlson show.
But you know how exciting this weekend was? Mississippi is the #1 state in college football.
What's their literacy rate, I wonder?
I don't know.
I'm just curious.
I'm
thinking out loud.
I tweeted out a photo with Mississippi, #1 in college football, 53rd in education.
Fair enough.
No.
Like it.
Oh, no, it was even better. It was 53rd.
Oh, that's even better.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I like people from Mississippi. They're very kind people. Just their education system is notoriously horrendous. So it's just true.
Plus everything is fried.
I know. I'm scared. I have to travel there the last 2 weeks of the month, and I'm scared that I'm not going to gain 15 pounds over those 2 weeks.
No, you got to get the fried pickles or whatever they're famous for. They're really good.
Fried everything is really good. I like fried stuff.
All right,
But
all right. So let's get into the game a little bit more. Number 12 Mississippi State at home beats your 6th-ranked Texas A&M Aggies, who fall to 14 in this week's polls, 48-31. Kenny Thrill is Kenny ill. It's a very sad day.
Kenny, trillions of interceptions, as a friend of mine said. Yeah, so Kenny Trill, yeah, it's something. The A&M offense, we've been waiting all season for the defense to actually lose us a game. And, the offense didn't do any favors.
You've been waiting for 3 years for that defense to show
up. Fair enough. Well, yeah. I mean, they've lost games before, but we've been waiting all season for this particular defense to be the cause. And, the offense did stink to a large degree, but the defense, oh, my God, the worst defense in the SEC easily. We get run over. We get beat down the secondary. A&M's defense sucks. And so I don't know what they're going to do about it. I don't know if it's fixable.
Now, what is the deal with that? I mean, I know that Sumlin's an offensive guy, but you think he could become a defensive counterpart, and recruiting the SEC should be a little easier on the defense side, right?
Well, you would think. I mean, the A&M has had – it's behind Alabama in recruiting, only Alabama. It wins every prospect in the state of Texas practically. We've had so many huge recruiting wins in the past 3 years, and everyone keeps saying, oh, the big recruits are all really young, and they're all really still learning, and, oh, next year it's going to be awesome because they're all going to be juniors. Well, soon they're all going to be graduated. And you know what? We still don't have a defense to show for it. And Mark Snyder, I think, is the one to blame for this, and I don't know what can be done about it, but Mark Snyder has failed to impress me at any level of his defensive play-calling game.
Why is that?
What's that?
Why is that?
Well, because we let people get on us. It's very upsetting, and it shouldn't be this way. Not in the SEC, don't you think?
Well, if you guys were back in the Big 12, this would just be par for the course.
Pretty much, yeah. But we're not in the Big 12. You would think we could compete against the people we're competing against, but we can't. We can't. So, Snyder was supposed to be good when he left Ohio State. And he's supposed to be good coming from Marshall. Then he went to South Florida, and he did pretty well. And then here he is at A&M, and 3 years of just nothing. Just nothing. I'm burnt out on him.
Well, at least it's a smooth segue into the guy that A&M couldn't stop, which is Dak Prescott, Diet Tebow, and right now, my front runner for the Heisman. Your rebuttal.
So, do you believe that the rest of the Heisman voters are going to agree with you? Because nothing I see has indicated that he is at the top of anyone's charts.
Now, this is kind of fun because this is like one of the first years there isn't a clear-cut runaway or the early runaways like Mariota get cut down pretty early. And I think if the top teams keep churning out losing games and everyone ends up with 1 or 2 losses, I think Mariota might be able to sneak back in there. I don't think Winston has a shot since he completely missed one of the games. And plus, he won last year, kind of tarnished the image. I don't think they want to give it to him twice again.
Right.
And
let's hope not.
I don't know. Mississippi State's going to have it tough since they play Auburn and have to go to Ole Miss. They play on Thanksgiving weekend. But if Mississippi State somehow runs the table and gets into the playoffs, I think Dak Prescott, Tebow, Heisman, lock it up.
Wow. Okay.
But like I said, it's going to be rough.
Well, I mean, he may have – a lot of it depends, I think, also on the rest of your team. And I think that Dak Prescott does have one of the very few complete teams surrounding him, in the SEC, much less – in college football. Because if you look at, what happened to Mariota, his offensive line is basically all hurt. Hundley can't quit from getting sacked. Those were, I think, the main QB competition for someone like a Dak Prescott. Am I wrong?
Mariota's gone. Hundley's definitely way off the radar.
Right. So who else? Kenny Hill's not in it, obviously. There aren't any other.
Yeah, I thought Kenny Hill had a shot, not anymore. Oregon went down. Like I said, UCLA's lost a couple and will lose to Arizona. I'm calling that already. BYU lost and Taysom Hill got hurt. Nebraska Amir Abdullah didn't show up for the Michigan State game.
Mhm.